everyone, thank you for being here. This session is all about learning in the workplace. We've been talking about what learning really is, how it applies to work and career every day. There are three main types of learning I want to introduce. First is affirmative, associative, and observational learning. Each one plays a role in how we grow our jobs.
Danisya, I've been having trouble solving certain work-related problems. Will cognitive learning help me to improve the way I think and approach this question?
Great question, Masha. Yes, cognitive learning involves understanding, reasoning, and problem solving. It helps us process information and make better decisions.
What about when we get rewards for good performance, like the bonus system we have here? Is that a type of learning too?
Absolutely, Rafika is a perfect example of associative learning. When you reward for doing something well, you more likely to repeat that behavior.
So is observational learning about learning from others?
Exactly, Amani. Observational learning is when you watch someone else, like a colleague, and learn from their actions.
Could you give us examples of how each of these type of learning actually looks in our day-to-day work?
Of course, when you analyze a report and figure out how to improve the process, that's cognitive learning. When you work harder to earn a bonus, that's associative learning. And when you learn how to handle a client by observing how another team use it, that's observational learning. These learning types that really help us grow individual and as a team. Let's be mindful of how we learn and support each other in the process.
Good morning, team. Good morning, Miss. Today's workshop is about personality and how it affects teamwork. Miss Africa, is personality something we're born with or something we develop? Yes, Marsha, both influence who we are. Let's look at the big 5 personality traits.
I think I'm high in openness. I enjoy trying new ideas and solving problems creatively.
You always bring fresh ideas to our group class.
I just like to think outside the box. It keeps things interesting.
I'm more on the conscientious side. I love planning and following schedules.
True, you are always the one making sure we stay on track.
I feel more focused when things are organized. It helps the teams too.
I think I'm high in ambivalence. I try to keep everyone happy and avoid conflict.
You are definitely the peacemaker. We need that during the stressful days.
I just want to keep them happy so we all have a better together.
I'm introverted, but I observe and pick up details that others might miss. Every trait has a strength. When we understand our differences, we work better together. Hi team, good morning. So today we're going to talk about how we can shape behavior in the workplace to improve performance. But this is include using method, positive enforcement, negative enforcement, and punishment. Shaping behavior. That sounds like psychology stuff. You're not wrong, Rafika. It is psychological, but it is very useful in managing workplace performance. Let me show you how each method works. So let me do some short role play. Like this, I've noticed you're really consistent in meeting the deadline. Great job. As a reward, you will get to lead to our upcoming meeting.
Wow, thank you, Marsha. I'm so excited for the opportunity.
Danisya, since your performance has improved, you no longer need to attend extra weekly progress meeting.
That's a hard relief. Thank you. I will continue to do my best.
So tomorrow, make sure you guys finish the work that I give you. Okay?
Honey, we've been late 3 times this week. If this happens again, you will get official warning.
I understand. I will make sure it doesn't happen again. So, if we're consistent with good behavior, we get rewarded?
Yeah, and I think it really motivates motivate us to improve.
I respond better when I feel trust. Taking away unnecessary tasks feel like a reward too.
And punishment. Well, it's not fun, but sometimes it's needed to stay disciplined.
Exactly. The goal is not to punish, but to guide and motivate. Let's all support each other in building high performance and positive work culture.
Good morning, team. I called this meeting to address the misunderstanding that occurred during our project discussion yesterday. It's important to clear things up and create a respectful environment.
Thanks, Miss Amani. I want to be honest. Yesterday during the discussion, I feel disrespected by Rafika. I was giving my opinion and she cut me off mid-sentence. She didn't even look at me when I spoke. It made me feel like my input didn't matter.
I'm really sorry, Danisya. That wasn't my intention, actually. I was really stressed about the deadline. I was distracted. I didn't mean to ignore you. I thought we were still on the same page.
Thank you both for being honest. BALQIS, can you help us understand how perception might have played a role here?
Sure, what we are seeing is a classic case of perception difference. Danisya perceived the class behavior as rude, while Rafika had such intention. Our perception are shaped by past experience, personal values, emotion, and even cultural background. This is where attribution theory comes in. We often judge others based on internal factors, like assuming someone is rude without considering external factors like stress. That's called the fundamental attribution error.
I've noticed this before in group work. Sometimes we assume someone is ignoring us when they are just overwhelmed.
Exactly. Other issue is bias. For example, if someone believes a certain team member is always careless, they might misinterpret any mistake as proof even when it unintentional. That's stereotyping.
I appreciate this clarification. So how can we avoid a misunderstanding like this in the future?
Maybe we can do a quick emotional check-in before meetings. That way we are aware of each other's state.
I agree, and I'll be more mindful of my body language and how I communicate even when stressed.
Let's also agree to clarify things immediately if we feel misunderstood instead of holding it in.
Great solution. Remember, being aware of how we perceive others and how they perceive us is key to effective communication. Reducing bias and improving empathy builds a better team.
Thank you everyone. Let's move forward with more understanding and respect.
Hey team, thanks for making time today. We got a major decision to make. Whether we should move ahead with opening a new branch in certain region. It's a big opportunity, but it's also a big commitment. So let's break this down carefully.
Before we start giving opinions, let's go over how we are going to approach the decision. There are two main styles we are going to use today: rational decision making, which is structure and fact-based, and intuitive decision making, which is more based on gut feelings, instinct, and experience.
Sounds like mix of spreadsheet and spy senses.
Pretty much, both are valid, and when used together, they can actually help teams make better decisions.
Exactly, I would ask you as well good science. Marsha, can you walk us through the rational decision making approach first?
Sure thing. Step 1, of course, we need to define the problem. Should we expand to certain region now or wait? Step 2, gather information. We've got the market research that they show there's demand. The location is strategic, but the cost is quite high. Step 3, consider alternative. We could launch immediately, but delay 6 to 12 months or test with smaller scale pilot project. Step 4, evaluate pro and cons. Jumping in now means grabbing opportunity early, but the financial risk is higher. Waiting gives us time to straighten internally, but we might miss the market window.
Step 5, recommend. I go with pilot launch in one city. Then let us test their water without committing all our sources.
Thanks, Marsha. Very true. Now, let's hear from the other side. Rafika, I know you have been leaning more on your instincts. So, what's your take?
Honestly, I say we go for it. We've been in good place recently. Our numbers are solid. Our team is capable. I've spoken to a few people in that region and they're all saying the same thing. There's a gap in the market that we can fill. I feel like if we wait too long, someone else is going to swoop in.
I get it, but what if we jump into first and run into the problem that we didn't anticipate?
That's fair, but sometimes taking a risk is what leads to growth. We've been cautious for a while. We know what we're doing, we just have to trust ourselves.
What makes sense, I think Marsha's method gives us control and a fallback plan, while Africa's give us momentum and a chance to hit the market. What if we plan both?
That's exactly what I was thinking. Here's a proposal. We launch a small pilot project into the next month. Not too slow, but not too aggressive. We target one city in a region, monitor how things go and scale based on the result.
I like that. It's structured but still allows us to act quite quickly. Plus, it fits the rational, intuitive, hybrid model we are trying to use. We can also set KPIs for the pilot, like number of customers, sales feedback. Maybe we are not flying blind.
Okay, perfect. Let's assign tasks. Marsha, can you lead the research and put together a process plan? Rafika, keep talking to your contacts and gather more local insight. Amani, work on setting up the milestone and tracking system. Danisya, can you help document the decision-making process for our report? Sure. Alright, I'll start drafting the overall action plan. This was a good discussion, everyone. I'm confident this approach will give us the best of both worlds. Smart planning and both action.